Hello, welcome to this update. Let's discuss a few updates with the severe weather today and tomorrow, and we have some more updates as well on the snow and everything. So here there's still this light risk today from Texas to Michigan and this marginal and even bigger area. So we have this big area of 2% tornado threat from Texas to Michigan and this 5% now in northern Texas and Oklahoma. And yesterday in Iowa and Nebraska, there were some pretty big tornadoes, and it was just a 5% yesterday too. So even though 5% doesn't look like much, it can produce some big tornadoes. So if I were you, I would stay on very much alert in spots of Texas and Oklahoma. And even the 2%, there might be some. So please be careful in those areas, but have some ways to receive warnings and everything, especially in Texas and Oklahoma, spots of Arkansas maybe, and all the way north to Michigan. So there's wind here, uh, 15 and 5%, and there's this hatched area in Oklahoma for some very strong wind gusts, potential to hurricane force winds. So please be careful. And there's hail now, 15 and 5% as well, and this hatched area in Texas and Oklahoma. So this sector here, central northern Texas to Oklahoma, will be the strongest storms of today. So please be careful. Scared severe thunderstorms are possible from parts of southern plains, northeastward towards the mid Mississippi Valley, and southwestern Great Lakes, mainly from late afternoon to early Saturday morning. So this might last a long time. Large to very large hail and severe wind gusts will be the main hazard, especially across southern plains where storms will be more concentrated. A few tornadoes should also appear possible, so be careful in those areas. Please be careful. There's Saturday tomorrow, this light risk still from Texas to Missouri, and the marginal goes all the way to Pennsylvania. So there's the 5% tornado threat already in place for tomorrow in Texas, and the 2% from Texas to northern Arkansas. So be careful tomorrow. There might be updates still, but please just be careful. There's wind 15 and 5%, the whole area, and hail 15 and 5%, but a little bit further west, the greatest wind threat. And Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas, again, the hatched area for the strongest winds. So please be careful. Scared strong to severe storms are possible, mainly from Texas into southern Missouri on Saturday. As strong storms may occur during the day across the Ohio Valley too. So be careful in those areas. For Sunday, still a slight risk across northeastern Texas, Louisiana, spots of Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois. So be careful. There's the marginal risk from Texas to Illinois. So 5-15%. And severe thunderstorms are possible Sunday from East Texas to the mid Mississippi Valley. So be careful in those areas. Day 4 through 8 is still quiet here, but on the models, still there's sun that shows storms. So we'll keep a look on that. But there's elevated fire threat in Florida today. Be careful. And there's the critical in Texas and New Mexico still, and the elevated. So be careful. Even into like southwest, southeastern Arizona too. And there's tomorrow still elevated in Texas and New Mexico and Florida. Be aware those areas. Day 3 through 8 still kind of quiet. So be aware. We do have here this slight risk of excessive rainfall, spots of spots of Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas, and in northwestern Arkansas too, and this marginal risk from Texas to Indiana. So be careful for today there, Friday to Saturday, in those areas. But tomorrow is a different situation. There's this very wide moderate risk from Texas to Illinois, and this slight around it, Texas to Indiana, and the marginal goes all the way to Ohio. So please be careful, especially in that moderate risk. There could be some flash flooding and maybe some river flooding and urban flooding problems. So be careful in those areas. Day 3 is wide marginal, kind of the Midwest and the plains. Day 4 still nothing. Day 5 in Texas and Oklahoma again. So be careful. The snow, some high probabilities in Colorado, spots of Wyoming, still central Utah and Arizona, and this is the probability of for more than 4 inches of snow. So it could get heavy in some areas there. Be careful. Shows also in New Mexico, spots of Colorado tomorrow, and Sunday still shows a thing or two in the northwest, but nothing crazy. There'll be more spots of Canada in Alberta and British Columbia, and then Monday is still a thing or two in Montana. Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of a snowflake or two, but nothing crazy. So yeah, there's like this winter storm severity index still moderate to major in some areas of Colorado, those areas. So be careful, and also some scared minor impacts to moderate spots of Utah, Wyoming, and New Mexico as well. Be careful in those areas. There's the hazards here for severe weather and heavy rain, and the orange and the green. And all those purple spots there are flooding possible, especially if the flooding that already happened in those rivers that might still be affected, and those areas that might occur. So be careful in those areas. There's like the winter storm warnings in Wyoming and Colorado today, spots of northern New Mexico. It's a very crazy mix of warnings there, like winter storm plus red flag. So yeah, be careful there, and be careful with dust storms as well if the wind is strong, like blowing dust advisories, and blizzard warnings northern Alaska, some casual wind advisories for the west, even red flag warning and in Kentucky, and the flood warnings in the rivers too. So be careful those areas. Now for the her here, it does show this evening the tornado parameters. It even shows further north in Wisconsin and Illinois some more parameters, where it shows in Oklahoma, spots Missouri too, and earlier in the afternoon it does show some parameters there, and the her is still showing Wisconsin there. Just be aware just in case. But later in the evening, like very deep into the evening, already it starts picking up the actual event there. So shows spots of southern Oklahoma, some higher parameters, northern Texas. That's the main threat area there. So be careful into Arkansas and Missouri too, some higher parameters, some spots there. Later into the night, still shows in northern Texas, like late evening, still some spots of northern Texas, Oklahoma. So be careful, especially if there are nocturnal tornadoes in more spots of the Mississippi Valley. So there's like later during the night still in Texas, show some, and tomorrow morning it dissipates, but still a parameter or two there. So be careful. Those areas. There's the updraft Halisti does show here the full run, shows there in Oklahoma those stronger cells, northern Texas into Oklahoma, crossing over into Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, and into Illinois, some tracks. And this here indicates very large hail too. Some even mention close to apple-sized hail. So please be careful. Stay safe. And the hurricane doing some very weird things in New Mexico. It's piping up some storms there. So yeah, you never know. Just be aware. And there's here the 12Z just to see until Sunday if it has something interesting. So until Sunday, it gets more concentrated around Texas. It shows some stronger cells further north, but this will still change there. But be aware, those areas. There's the mixed layer Cape as well, like this afternoon, this evening, shows in Oklahoma. Those areas close to 2,000 joules per kilogram, even 2,500 in some spots of Texas, closer to 1,500 to 2,000 in Missouri, spots of Illinois and Arkansas. So be careful in Arkansas, even to like 2,500. And later in the evening, still shows some. But yeah, be careful those areas. And early in the afternoon, even Wisconsin shows more Cape and Oklahoma and Texas. So be careful those areas. Stay safe. And yeah, be aware. There's the GFS here just to see basically what's happening in the upper atmosphere. So it kind of shows this trough coming in with more winds and some wind shear ahead of it. So this basically what's causing this. So be careful those areas, and it still shows Saturday there, and later into Sunday. This keeps going. So be careful. There's the her now shows like those storms. There's those sneaky storms in New Mexico. Not sure what it's doing there, but it does show in Oklahoma and Texas later this evening. So show some pretty strong cells in Oklahoma and Texas and Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas, and you also saw what happened yesterday there in Iowa. So please be careful these storms. There's like south here we might get a better look. So it shows some fire in northern Texas. Then this goes and still uh, late in the evening shows some nasty storms in Texas, into Oklahoma, especially later there in Oklahoma during the night shows that line of storms. So there, there will be some very nasty hail. So stay safe. This goes shows tomorrow in Texas there, whereas that 5% tornado threat shows some strong storms already tomorrow there. So stay safe, be careful, and this goes away. There's like further north and east shows those storms today in Arkansas, southern Missouri. There's north here for some spots this evening, like central Illinois shows those storms there. But let's just see everything here. So shows like Missouri some, but there are shows stronger ones in Illinois. Those areas this goes into Indiana, so maybe some storms too. And later the rain just keeps moving east and the storms with it. So be careful. There are showing some weird rain in Arizona and some storms. So be careful those areas, especially those storms further in the southern plains and into the Midwest. So stay safe. There's here for Sunday, day 3. The Korea State University has a 15% as well. The CIPS is close to 30%. It's kind of different. And there's still some minor probabilities, like 5% next week. So yeah, beware. But this is already like, yeah, this is already Wednesday, the 23rd. They already have a 15%, the Korea State University. So be aware in those areas. But if you go into this main page here and you see this is old here. This from April 8th. So don't get tricked by this. But yeah, be aware. And here it does show the GFS, those storms there in the plains, and you can see in all of North America, further north in Canada, those clippers there, snow. So there's one now into Saturday, especially Saturday and Sunday, some rain in Quebec and Ontario, more snow there. This goes, there's that snow spots of southwestern Canada and the northwest, and spots of northern Canada too. And as this low pressure evolves into those areas of Minnesota, might be more snow, even into northern Wisconsin and southwestern Ontario, more snow. By like Monday, this goes and still shows some storms like on the 24th, central US, maybe some snow in eastern Canada still later next week. But right now, this area of western Canada and the Rockies, the US, are more more active with snow and everything. So be aware. There's here, like right now, this snow happening in those areas. So Friday, Saturday, the severe storms you can see as well. Plus that highway of snow in spots in northwestern Canada goes all the way from Yukon to spots in northern Nunavut. And Alaska is also in this some snow there too. So this goes, there's Saturday and Sunday, British Columbia, some spots of Nunavut, more snow there, and some ice as well. Shows Monday some ice arriving in northern Quebec and snow too. So be careful if you are there. And later, next Tuesday in Quebec and Ontario, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, that snow there. And still shows later next week some more, especially like on the 24th, the European showing a mass of storms around the central southern US. So be aware, those areas. There's this wind still strong, spots of the southwestern US and northern Mexico, some high wind gusts still. So stay safe in those areas. Later into the northeast and Atlantic Canada Sunday shows some very high gusts in New Brunswick and eastern Quebec, Nova Scotia. So stay safe there. In northern Maine to 4 is 50 mile per gust, even higher into the 50s. So be careful. This goes the Europeans is all the way to 111 km per gust in Newfoundland. So Monday this goes still strong there in Newfoundland later Monday night. Some sneaky winds in the Midwest. Coast of 4 is low 50s mile per gust. This goes like a finger to the northeast Tuesday night, and then still shows some spots next week with some breezier conditions, but nothing that crazy. But we'll keep watching for next week there. So the rain still shows a lot of rain in this area, like in Missouri, Oklahoma, where's that the moderate risk of excessive rainfall. And if I find a place here, good. So next 5 days, that show close to 4 inches. The European, some 3 to 4 inches. Spots of Oklahoma, Missouri close to 5 inches. More in Texas, some 2 inches. The European, even to southern Texas, some 2 to 3 inches. 4 inches, so be careful. Some rain over the semi southeast and spots of the Midwest, some heavier ones because of those storms. So be careful. This thing this snow in Canada might be a mix of rain as well because it's already kind of warmer. So especially precipitation type here shows Friday some rain and some snow there. The same time, same thing in the on the west and the Rockies. Some freezing rain maybe sometime this weekend in spots of Quebec and Ontario Saturday, and still shows more ice in Quebec and Labrador and maybe northern Newfoundland Sunday. So this goes a big mix of wet snow and possibly this freezing rain in Nunavut and northern Manitoba, but mainly Nunavut Sunday there shows some ice, and this goes Sunday, Monday to Ontario, northern Quebec, the ice, and then this goes still shows some scattered snow, rain, or ice into central western Canada next week. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. There's also this spot that people have been talking about of moisture in the Atlantic. This won't be anything, just some extra tropical rains there. But we'll keep watching because some mention a quick subtropical spin, but I think that will be hard to happen. But in terms of showers, still some showers next 5 days. Spots of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands shows more showers there, some 27 millimeters, and some light showers spots of the Caribbean, some 13, 16 millimeters, and especially in Costa Rica and Panama, it's still quite heavy there. So be aware those stronger storms, maybe some flooding spots of Nicaragua, Guatemala, some more showers, and Belize, especially Belize. But shows in eastern central Mexico these showers here and storms. So be careful, especially northern Mexico might have a branch of those storms from Texas. So there's a possibility of severe storm or two in northern Mexico. Just be aware. But nothing that crazy. There's this blob of moisture in the Atlantic there. It just kind of spins around itself, but doesn't. I don't think there'll be anything subtropical. You just stay there and dissipate, but you never know. You keep watching. And yeah, so be aware the temperatures are kind of discussed yesterday, but still fairly cold most of Canada, and some spots milder like southeastern Canada, and spots of central western Canada, some milder temperatures from time to time, but still fairly cold in many spots of the north during the night, even the southeast, and Sunday, Monday. This goes much milder in the south, but still these colder nights. And during the day, it's always cold there in the north, but in the south it'll be colder during the night. So be aware those areas. And there's further south here that's still quite hot in Texas. Those areas even in the 90s by the European spots of Florida, some is 90s Fahrenheit, and in the Rockies still quite cold. So Friday this goes during the night in Wyoming. It shows even to like -3 Fahrenheit, spots in the 20s, teens, even single digits in the mountains, and other spots milder there. So Saturday, Sunday, northernmost plains, northern Midwest, maybe some 20s, 30s, and still fairly cold there in the mountains, but much warmer in the east, southeast, and those areas. But here, there's like now this colder air on top and this warmer air further south. The cold front is right here, those thunderstorms. So this goes and still remains warm next week, but not as warm as it is ahead of this cold front now. So be aware those areas. And there is here spots of Central America and Mexico, close to even like 39 to 40 degrees spots of Mexico. So it's still very hot, some 38 degrees at 39. So be careful in those areas. Honduras, Nicaragua, still some high temperatures. So Friday, Saturday, be aware. Further north, it's still some 2 degrees to like 1 degree in the mountains, and Sunday, Monday. So yeah, be careful, but especially the heat in those areas. The islands are kind of tropical, quite fine, but it's already hot in Cuba. So Monday, Tuesday, and yeah, be aware those areas, but especially the wind, viento in northern Mexico might have some critical fire danger. The same thing as the southwestern U.S. because of the low humidity and everything. So be careful and stay safe. I think that's it, but that's not it quite yet because let's show some snowfall totals here. So it does show still the European in Canada 5 days and 35 centimeters, 34 Marcos Northern Newfoundland, be careful there, Quebec and Labrador in a few spots, and further through Alberta, British Columbia, even to like 40 centimeters. Next 5 days shows more snow scattered across British Columbia, spots in Alberta, and still there in Nunavut, some 18 centimeters, 17 centimeters, central southern Alaska, more spots in Alaska, and more spots British Columbia, further south into Montana. The snow in the Rockies, especially in New Mexico, Colorado, might be heavier. The Europeans has like some 10 inches currently, even like 13 inches, but others just 7 inches, 5 inches. The GFS like more in Colorado, some 9 inches. It does have in Arizona too. The icons more uh, in the mountains, even to like 10, 11 inches. So be careful. Those areas in Montana, the icons like to 10 inches. The Europeans, some in Wyoming. The Europeans like 3 inches in Wyoming. The icons 10 inches in Wyoming. So a big difference. But yeah, some in Washington. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. And yeah, so be aware. There's here just for a quick thingy. So there's those temperatures there I showed you. But for wind here, because this is a cool graphic, shows those stronger gusts like right between Texas and New Mexico, even to like 60 mile per gusts today. So stay safe in those areas. That heavy rain, 48 hours, even close to 4 inches by their model here. And ice, not really any ice. Most of it is that there in Canada. But snow, there will be snow. Like I showed you, the Rockies, some in Utah and Arizona, more spots there. So be careful in those areas and stay safe. Just here to see if we can see the ice in spots of Canada. So does show there's like precipitation 72 hours. So the European shows mostly next 3 days, spots of Quebec into Newfoundland. But later, when you go into Monday, there might be some in Nunavut and Quebec, especially Sunday, might be a thing or two in Nunavut. But yeah, be careful in those areas. The GFS is a similar thing, so be aware. Now there's just precipitation in total. So those areas of the US there. And yeah, be careful. The southern Central America, the GFS even has more in Puerto Rico, those areas. So yeah, be careful. There's well, one more thing here. Let's see. Yes, for northern Nunavut, because there's this system there, northern Alaska, those blizzard warnings, but there's still those stronger gusts northern Nunavut throughout Saturday, and those stronger gusts with this snow might make for some good blizzards there. So stay safe in those areas and be careful. Yeah. Stay safe.